Brought to you by the Capital One Savor Card. With Savor, you earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining, entertainment, and at grocery stores. That's unlimited cash back on ordering takeout from home, or unlimited cash back on tickets to concerts and games. So grab a bite, grab a seat, and earn unlimited 3% cash back with the Savor Card. Capital One. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details. This message is brought to you by the Capital One Venture X card. Venture X offers the premium benefits you expect, like a $300 annual Capital One travel credit for less than you expect. Elevate your earn with unlimited double miles on every purchase, bringing you one step closer to your next dream destination. Plus, enjoy access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. The Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Coming at you fast and furious today with all our best tips. Hey everybody, it's Kelly Wilkness here with Anita Joyce, and this is Decorating Tips and Tricks. Today is a rapid fire episode. We haven't done one of these in a long time. We love them. We hear you really like them as well. So we are going to run through a whole bunch of tips. I would suggest you get some pad and pen or get out your laptop and jot these down because you are not going to want to forget many of these tips. Kick us off.
All right. Well, you're going to start with taking a picture. Take a picture when you begin. As you're trying different things, take a picture. And then when you love the way it looks, go ahead and take a picture of that. So that's a great way to go. And just keep all those pictures and you can see how your room evolves over time.
Well, you got to do it. You have to declutter before you decorate. So only the meaningful pieces remain. You've got some negative space, and then you can add in other things. But if you don't start with that crucial step, you are not going to get the result that you want. So declutter before decorating.
I couldn't agree with that one more. Measure before you buy. This happens to me. Sometimes I do look at the measurements, but sometimes my thought of what 20 inches isn't what it really is. So you want to measure and make sure that things are going to come the size that you think they are and that they're going to fit in the space that you have.
Identify the feeling that you want first. It doesn't have to be a specific image. It doesn't have to be a specific piece of furniture, but you want to identify the feeling that you're going to want in your room, whether it's cozy, energetic, serene, and then design towards that. So it's a little more amorphous. It's not a specific color palette or item. It is a feeling. Figure out what that feeling is, what feeling you want to represent in this space, and then design towards that.
Choose a whole home color thread for cohesion. It doesn't have to be the main color in each room, but just choose some color that's going to show up throughout your house, and that's going to be kind of your signature color.
This one is really important because I think people have certainly gotten the memo on testing paints before you commit to painting a whole room or just a whole area, but they don't test in separate spaces within that room. And it can make such a difference. I was with a client the other day and we had some of the big sampleized adhesive swatches. On one wall, it really looked blue like it was supposed to. And then at the wall near the window, it totally looked green. It was hard to even discern the green undertone until you put it by that window. So whatever was going on outside, whether it be the trees or whatnot, it was really impacting that color. So you're going to want to test on multiple walls in a particular space before you commit to the color, not just one spot and not just one spot at one time of day, different times of day and different walls.
Use color to create or evoke a particular mood. Maybe you want a cozy mood, so you might want to go with a darker color. If you want a light, airy, summery feel, you're probably going to want a lighter color like a white or a cream.
We've mentioned this many times, but I don't see a lot of people in real life doing it. Float your furniture if you can. If you live in a really small space and you can't and you need every square inch, okay, but try it. It's so simple. It's absolutely free. Just pull the furniture, free the furniture, move the furniture off the walls and see how that feels. So float your furniture when you can.
Use contrast intentionally. When people went with all of the neutrals many years ago, the thing they missed was contrast. You can't have everything with white and cream. You need something darker in there. So even if you have neutrals and you have white and cream, you need to throw in some tan, some brown, maybe some black. So make sure that you have some very strong color differences in your room.
Mixed materials. Nothing is more boring, and I'm sorry for the wood lovers out there, but nothing is more boring than to walk into a space. Let's just imagine a kitchen and dining area, open concept. The floor's wood. The cabinets are wooden, stained wooden. The furniture is maybe a stickly variety, or it has a lot of wood on it. Wood is great, but everything can't be wood. Stone, you want to mix that in, metal, and certainly fabrics and textures. So mix it up. It's easier, I guess, maybe, just to say, oh, that's my wood tone. Let me add more. Let me add more. Even just taking away a wooden chair that's sitting at a wooden table, that's sitting on a wooden floor, that's near a wooden island, that's near wooden cabinetry, even just changing those chairs will completely change the way your room feels.
Use the bigger rug. Just do it. It's more expensive. I know it's painful, but you're going to be so glad you did, because the smaller rugs just end up looking cheap.
Choose a or maybe two statement pieces for a room, particularly if your room's got a big focal point, like a big fireplace. You don't want to have a lot of competing statement pieces. So even if you're an art collector, you don't want your house to look like an art gallery, right? People need to know where to look. The statement piece won't feel like it's making much of a statement if there are a lot of other pieces that are similarly vying for attention. So the good news is you don't have to buy a lot of what could be expensive statement pieces. You just need one or maybe two that will play together, but one would probably be the best. Something that just makes the room special and doesn't have any competitors.
Vary heights in the room. You don't want everything to be the same height. When you're looking in the room, it's going to feel flat. It's just not going to feel right. It's nice to have different heights. So maybe there's a desk and maybe there's an armoire in the room or a bookcase. Just make sure there's a few tall pieces. But again, you don't want everything to be tall.
Sometimes you walk into a space and even if it's not a very tall ceiling, have you had this experience, Anita? Everything is pretty much at eye level. Particularly, it seems to happen in living rooms because there's a lot of seating, right? So all the sofas and chairs are around the same height. Maybe the mantle's a little bit higher, but not much higher. In there, you would need a bookcase. You would need some art well hung. You need, my favorite, the tall plant. That does so much. Or hang those draperies high. So you need something that's going to bring your eye up, or you're just going to be looking at that mid-level throughout the room. And you're not taking full advantage of the space, no matter how low or high your ceiling is, if you're decorating that way.
Use dimmers. I know this is one of your favorite tips, Kelly.
Oh, my gosh.
Sorry, I stole it.
Use the dimmer. No, that's okay. See, I mean, you agree anyway, but, It's nice when you're preaching to the choir and the choir tells you back, dimmers.
Well, it gives you an option. You can go full strength on the light or you can go softer, and usually you're going to want it on the softer level. So put in those dimmers and you can adjust the lighting to your needs.
And you're going to want to layer the lighting. Are you tired of me saying this? Well, if you were all doing it, I could stop saying it. But I go into a lot of houses and I see this is not happening. Overheads, flip them on. That's all you got. Where are your lamps? Where are your task lights? Where are your cozy little rechargeables? There are so many options to have beautiful lighting in a room, and it will really change the way you feel about the space and maybe even the way you live in it. Because if you have good lighting, nice lighting, when people say good lighting, let me just say that. People say good lighting, that I think they're really saying, I want to perform surgery in this room, right? That is like what people say, well, that's good lighting. No, well, that's what I'm thinking.
I call that attack lighting.
Yes.
Interrogation lighting. I mean, what, do you work for the CIA or something?
Very your type of lighting. For those of you that are doing it, I am sorry to have to say it again, but it is one of my top tips, and it can impact a room in such a positive way that I want everybody to be doing it. Whether I'm sporting my Tillys or my Esmes, I love my Warby Parker sunglasses. But Warby Parker isn't just about sunglasses. They are a total eye care operation. Eye exams, glasses, contacts, sunglasses. You can actually go into one of their stores and get an eye exam right there. So you don't have to piece it together anymore. And they have over 300 retail locations across the USA. Everything is super clean, modern, and honestly feels more like a wellness experience than a typical eye doctor visit. And Warby Parker is covered by many major insurance plans. And even if you're not in network, you can still use their out-of-network benefits. Warby Parker's prescription glasses start at only $95, so you can actually get quality and stylish frames at an affordable price. Maybe the best part of Warby Parker is for every pair they sell, they also give a pair to someone in need. Warby Parker has distributed over 20 million pairs of glasses to people in need through its Buy a Pair, Give a Pair program. Right now, buy one pair of glasses and get 20% off any additional pairs at warbyparker.com/DTT. That's 20% off any additional pairs when you purchase one pair at Warby Parker. That's WARBY Parker.com/DTT. Have you been thinking about starting a business, but you've got a couple of excuses as to why you haven't? Well, I'm going to remove all those excuses today by introducing you to Shopify. Shopify is where you go to start your business with everything you need already there from day one. Anita and I did, and we could not have been happier. Shopify is the thing that removes every excuse you've had for not starting yet. Shopify makes it easy for you as the shop owner, and it makes it easy for your customers as well. And because Shopify handles the setup and checkout, you have more time to focus on the creative aspects of your business and your growth. Shopify powers millions of businesses worldwide, from household names like Mattel and Gymshark to small businesses like yours that are just getting started. With Shopify, nothing stands between your idea and a real business, so go make it one. Start your free trial at shopify.com/DTT. That's shopify.com/DTT. Shopify.com/DTT.
Add texture to every room. Just like we talked about how if all the colors and shades of colors are very similar in a room, it can feel flat. It's the same thing if you have a room without texture. And also, if it's a neutral room, the texture becomes even more important. So you want to vary things. Velvet, cotton, maybe some chunky throws. Your eye sees the texture, even if you don't feel it with your skin, and it just feels very inviting and interesting.
I listened to some podcasts the other day, and they were talking about people that cannot visualize things.
Oh, I saw that.
Did you hear that? It's like called
I saw and hear it. I saw and I heard it.
You were able to see it and hear it. I forget what I was listening to, but I think it's called aphantasia, which doesn't sound like maybe the right thing, but I think that's what it's called, but we can check. There are people, because sometimes I'm describing something to someone, and I know I'm very visual, you're very visual, but they're just not getting it. And I think, well, I'm just not describing it right, or, that's not the way they think. But apparently there are some people that cannot even visualize it. The man that was being interviewed said he can think of his children, but he cannot picture their faces in his head.
What? Okay, yeah. But do those people dream and see things in their dreams?
No, he said he does not.
No.
Right. Oh, so how are these people going to see texture is what I'm saying. That would be challenging. So
that's a good point. And I will say I am limited because I know people that can see the words, and that's why they're good spellers. They picture it in their brains, and I cannot see words, so I'm a terrible speller. I have to type it out, and then I say, that doesn't look quite right, and then I try something else. But that is a good point, because you and I can think about what can be done in a room and we can visualize it. And maybe that's why we are not so much interested in the mood boards, because I don't think we really need them, but a lot of clients do.
That's a good point. And I didn't know you also were challenged in spelling. Me too.
Oh,
I do the same thing. So clearly we can't see words. Yeah. So, I bring this up because we're talking about visualizing texture and how your eye can really discern it. Well, yes, if you're fortunate enough to be able to have that component in your brain, and these people are brilliant. I mean, they can do lots of things, but there's some deficit, and I had never heard of such a thing. I've been overwhelmed by the positive response to my app, Home Design Coach. Are you one of the many DTT listeners already working with me on the app? Well, if not, give it a go. Head to studio.com/Kelly to learn more about Home Design Coach and see if it's right for you. You can take the quiz, get your personalized plan, and then you can decide whether to subscribe. There's no obligation, just opportunity. An opportunity to work with me to create a home you truly love. Studio.com/Kelly. And you want to mix your patterns. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean colors if you're not feeling that comfortable yet mixing a lot of different colors together. Sometimes you'll see in some high-end magazines, you're like, woo, I would never put that combination together. Those pillows don't even look like they go together, but they do when they're together kind of thing. But even just putting your toe into the water of mixing patterns, keep in mind the scale. Large, medium, small. That is so easy to remember. It's kind of like, high, medium, low when you're doing a vignette. Easy to keep in mind. And you want to have those 3 types of scaled patterns in your collection of pillows or what have you, what other textiles you're using. And that really works nicely together. So you're going to kind of have your big hero pattern and then something that's going to support that, which could be maybe a stripe or a paisley or something like that. And then a much smaller little pattern.
Use throw blankets. I love using them, and they're just as versatile as pillows, and they are such a wonderful, easy way to add color and pattern to a room. They're wonderful for changing out for the seasons. They're just so flexible. They're not expensive.
Your draperies. Hang them high, hang them wide. Bears repeating, because again, it's not done. We say it, we say it, we say it, and we're out there in the world and it's not happening. So maybe those people aren't listening, and everybody that is listening is already doing that, but does bear repeating. Floor length curtains hung high to visually raise the ceiling. Also, bring your eye up in the room, or we were talking about earlier how everything, particularly in a living room, is oftentimes sort of just a mid-range. This is going to bring your eye up. It's going to feel much more elegant. And then you want them, I like them to just kiss the floor. I'm not a puddler girl. Or have that nice little men's or women's trouser crease. Just a little something, a little crease as it touches the floor. Those are my 2 favorites, but you definitely want to hang them high. It's not going to cost you that much more to get them longer, but it is going to cost you in look if you don't.
Make your art make sense as far as where it is placed on the wall. If it is not associated with any other furniture, if it's kind of on the wall by itself, you do want it to be at eye level. But if it is above a piece of furniture, it needs to be associated with the furniture. So if it's above a desk, maybe just have it about 5 to 10 inches above the desk. Same if it's above a buffet or a mantle. So just think about where the art is going and make sure it makes sense for the space.
If you don't have any, add some architectural interest. Just don't be bummed out that maybe you've got a spec home or a home that just wasn't created with a lot of great moldings. These are things you can add, but caution here. You do not want to jump on some trends. There was that fluted wood thing going on for a while, and oh my gosh, everything was fluted, and there was all these wall panels, and it was like, oh my god, you could just stick them on the wall. This is fantastic. But I don't think that is going to stand the test of time. So we're talking about classics. I would not invest in the cost and effort that it would take to add these types of sort of stick on wooden panels. So you really want to think about what will work with the architecture of your home. If you've got a mid-century modern, you don't want to be like, but I love beadboard. Nah, that's not going to work there. You got to respect the integrity of the home, but there is an opportunity to add some architectural interest if it's not already there. Maybe beams, something that you can add that will complement your spaces. And if you've got sort of like a straight up ranch, where ranches are amazing, they can be chameleons. You can kind of make them whatever you want. I mean, I'm sure we've all seen out there those ranch transformations. You're like, that was that little gray ranch, and now look at it, and look at those, and the curb appeal is amazing. And more than likely, those people that are doing the great exterior transformations are doing something inside too. So that's a great type of home to be able to add pretty much whatever you want and make it this space that really speaks to you. But don't be bummed out if you don't have inherent architectural interest. Just add it.
Mirrors are great to reflect the light in the room, and that is really one of the main reasons we recommend using them. Sometimes people like to also check their appearance as they're headed out the door, but the main thing is the light. So if you're going to add a mirror to a room, choose a beautiful one. We highly recommend using them. Also recommend that you not just get some boring mirror, the plain Jane mirror from Amazon. Since you're going to add it, why not make it something really special? So try to find a really unique mirror to use in the room.
Style surfaces in odd numbers. This is our friend, the vignette. So the rule of threes, or even the semi-rule of fives. Over 5, it's getting a little crazy. You're starting to look like a decor shop. But 3 is perfect. 5, depending upon the items, could possibly work. Recently, and I'm not even sure if that episode came out yet, Anita, I spoke about formulas for creating some styling on your coffee tables and various other places. So if you haven't listened to that one, or maybe nobody has, because maybe it hasn't come out yet, when it comes out, I think you'll really enjoy that. That's what you want to be doing, right? And corral it if you can on a tray or some other surface that makes it look like it's intentional. It just is so pleasing to the eye. I know we have an episode talking all about why that is, but today's rapid fire, so we're not going to get too deep into why your eye loves 3s or odd numbers in general, but trust us, it does. So style your surfaces in odd numbers. Comfortable, versatile, and somehow right for almost every occasion. That's why I love the Quince Summer Edit. The Quince Summer Edit is filled with pieces you will want to wear every day and you can take from day to night. Everything at Quince is priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. They work directly with ethical factories and cut out the middleman, so you're paying for exceptional quality, not brand markup. And it's not just apparel. Quince offers elevated essentials for your home, from bedding and bath to kitchen essentials and furniture. And did you know that Quince also offers jewelry? I absolutely love the freshwater cultured pearl toggle necklace. It is the right mix of classic and fresh, and you can dress it up or dress it down. It'll be the piece you want to put on every day. We love absolutely everything about Quince, from the rugs under our feet to the clothes on our back. Make your summer wardrobe feel easier and better. Go to quince.com/DTT for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada as well. That's Quince, QUINCE.com/DTT for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/DTT.
Lean, large art or mirrors to make it just a little bit easier for yourself. I think it's a nice look, and these big mirrors can just be leaned against the wall. I have an oversized Trumeau mirror in my bedroom, and I did just lean it against the wall. It's about 4 feet tall, so I think that's something you can do. Of course, the cautionary note is if you have pets or small children, probably not a great idea for your home because they do tend to knock things over, and we don't want anything falling on anybody. So that's something to think about, but it is a nice look, and, it's a lot easier. It's a lot easier to deal with when you don't have to hang it on the wall. Those big pieces are hard to hang, Kelly.
They are, and it's a big commitment. Maybe you're renting, or maybe this isn't your forever home, or maybe you've got plaster walls like I do, and you think, I'm going to hear that boom in the night at some point. So if you can lean and anchor, if you're worried about something falling, you can get either L brackets
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah, L brackets, or you can get the earthquake straps, which you don't see them. It's not like you're strapping the mirror horizontally to the wall. They go in the back. So it's a good thing to do. We have everything that's tall or heavy strapped just in case. But so far, we've been very lucky. Knock on wood. I think leaning, particularly artwork, whether it's even on the floor if it's very large, or if it's on a console table, or it's on your mantle, it lends this sort of casual Parisian garret, I just painted that and it's drying kind of thing. I love that vibe. Yeah, partner that with some great lighting and maybe like a linen throw, and man, you're on your way to really making a beautiful space. Choose a signature scent. That might sound a little superfluous, but hey, wouldn't that be nice? I mean, people name their houses. I always think that's so cool, but I'm like, what? I don't know what I would name my house. Like naming it My Soulful Home seems like a little much. So, or
mine's Cedar Hill.
Yours is Cedar Hill. I don't know. My Soulful Home just seemed, because maybe it's the my part. So I just never, was like, oh yeah, that's my house, My Soulful Home. Now, it seems a little odd, but people do name their houses. I'm actually going with a client to look at potentially buying a house that has a name, and we're all very wowed. I'm like, oh, they're probably charging more because it's got a name. Now, I don't mean you need to be mixing up some soy wax in your basement, right? Just pick one. There's millions of them. And I'm going to have a crush coming up soon. I'm holding out because I want to get the candle in my hand, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to absolutely love it. And it's a woman-owned small company, local, that I want to share with you guys. But I'm going to wait for it to come and light it up and see how it is before I recommend it to you. But I do recommend that you develop your own signature scent. Try a few different candles. If you are a diffuser person, I tried diffusers. I don't know. I don't like the way they look, but I know, they're safer. And, if you, God forbid, you forget to blow the candle out. Once you find a scent that you like, get 3. Maybe get 5. Have them in various places. Obviously, you're not going to light them all up and then leave those particular rooms. But even when a candle is not burning, if it's a really good candle, it's going to be giving off some scent anyway. And then when you do have the opportunity, like a guest coming, the same scent is going to be downstairs, and then the same scent could be in their guest room. And I just think that's spectacular. People don't even really know what's happening. They just know it feels good to be in the space.
Display your personal collection. I think this is what makes a house feel so unique to the owner. It's interesting, and I find it fascinating to go in people's homes and see a collection. I love seeing these. Even if it's not something I collect, I find it very interesting. It's something to look at. It's a conversation starter. So I think it's a great thing to do. Of course, my personal display is of my favorite dishes, and I have them in an armoire. Okay, there's 2 armoires, but that's my collection of dishes, and I love having them out. I enjoy seeing them, and people are almost always drawn to them.
When you're doing seasonal decor, which we don't do very much of, consider swapping out the very obvious seasonal decor that you can buy at big box stores or Hobby Lobby, crafty sort of things, and use organic seasonal accents instead. This is going to save you a lot of storage. When I was doing a lot of blogging, and I have to say, Anita really never got on the seasonal decor train. I really commend you for that, my friend. Right?
It was hard because I was pressured to. And
yes.
Yeah, a lot of pressure.
I broke down with all those plastic pumpkins, and I think, I hope people are enjoying those plastic pumpkins that I released back into the universe, because I hope they're not decaying in landfill somewhere. I hope someone's liking them. But I had all of that stuff. It's not the way I want to decorate anymore. It's not elevating my look very much, to have like a scarecrow with a candy corn nose or something like that. None of that passes my threshold anymore.
That gave me a physical reaction.
I know. It combines sugar, which you don't like, orange, which you don't like, and seasonal decor. That was like a trifecta of bad for you. I'm sorry.
It's just...
It's too early in the morning to talk like that, Kelly.
Really, how could you do this to me?
Okay, I just want to say I never had something like that. I was just envisioning it. But anyway, not
because you can envision it, right?
Oh, yeah,
but I don't want to.
We're coming full circle. Yeah, maybe it'd be better not to be able to see some of the things you can see in your head. Okay, let's focus back on this supposed rapid fire tip that is not rapid fire, but use organic seasonal accents. These are things that will decay in a landfill or maybe right in your garden. So you could have branches, real ones. You could have fruit. You could have acorns, pine cones, all of those things. Just have that. It's so much easier. It's so much more elegant. And you don't have to keep it all year and drag it back out. So that's my seasonal decor tip.
So my last tip is to design for how you live now. Make sure the design you choose works for you and how your family are now.
Let your home evolve. Great design is collected. You're going to change. Your home should change. So let it evolve as you evolve. It is a process and should be a joyful one. So that's a lot of our very favorite tips coming at you in a semi-rapid fire fashion.
Semi.
What is your crush today?
Well, it's a new show on BritBox. It is called Jane Austen, Rise of a Genius. It is a 3-episode series, and it talks about her life and writings, and it's really more of a documentary. If you are a real devotee of Jane Austen, I think you're going to love it. They cover a lot of interesting facts about Jane and her family, so it's really interesting, and I'm enjoying it. What's your crush?
My crush is for you all to get yourselves the Archive Color Fan deck from Farrow and Ball. It is about $35 online. It is huge, and it has all their archived colors. If you are interested at all in Farrow and Ball paints, you'll note that every season they come out with a few new ones, but not too many. They don't have 100 whites like some other paint companies. They have a very curated and tight collection, and when they're not featuring a color, it goes into the archives. You can still get it, but you can't get it unless you know it exists. So that's why I suggest that you get this. They're calling it their fan, but it's like a deck of paint colors, and it's quite thick. And you can order it right online. Okay? Or if you have a Farrow and Ball shop close to you, they should probably have it in stock, and it's about $35, and it's well worth it because it is very helpful. Then you can always narrow it down and get the bigger samples if you wanted from Sample Eyes or elsewhere. But this is a wonderful tool because they don't feature these colors anymore, so you need to know that they actually exist and you can get them. So we'll put the link to getting that in the show notes.
So you go directly to their website to get it, correct?
Yes, right. Farrowandball.com. And if these tips are new to you, re-listen. And if they're just good reminders, and some of them were not even so gentle reminders, it's just great to have this information at your fingertips or your ear buds or something, because that's what we're here for.
Well, thanks so much for hanging out with us. And remember, we're here to inspire you to create a beautiful home. Until next time.
Fabulous, fun, wow, even better than I had hoped or expected. These are just a few of the words used to describe a DTT design consult. We've been doing consults for many years, and boy, are we good at it. And people are loving the results of the advice and suggestions that we make for them. It's so easy to schedule a consult with us. Just simply go to our website, decoratingtipsandtricks.com, and click consult. There you'll be led through the very simple process. And sooner than later, you, I, and Anita will be discussing your home in detail. So sign up for a consult today. Let us help you design and decorate the home that you want and deserve. Looking forward to talking to you soon.